beautiful people. Welcome back to the Blac Moment. I'm your host, the Black Shrek. And with me today, I have a digital nomad, a lover of nature, a kind-hearted, magnificent, awesome individual. I would want you to meet Jacky.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, yeah. Jacky, within this couple of months that I've worked with you, I tell you, in various ways, you have just blown my mind.
Oh, thank you.
I tell you.
That's always so nice to hear. I don't know. I think sometimes you don't even realize which impact or or what you do for people, you know? So it's always nice to hear that. Thank you so much.
Really, I've been thinking of ways to keep you with us here in Ghana.
Yeah, I know. I heard that already.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I come back. You never know.
Yeah, as in we've been planning all that out, and we're hoping that there's something that we can do to keep you here, and we think there's another part of the world that is going to take you away from us for a while. We are having hopes, and we know that we will get you back soon.
You never know. Sometimes you have to leave a place to realize that you really miss that place,
Exactly,
you know? So maybe this will happen.
Yeah.
I will tell you then.
Reasons to come back to Ghana. Yeah. Today, I would want us to do something different.
Okay.
From our last conversation. Our conversations are always deep.
True.
But then it comes to recording it, then it's a different thing.
Yeah. I think when we're kind of nervous, it's like, okay.
That's something. But yes, I would first of all want to go down to your life as a digital nomad.
Okay.
And combining that with service.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good topic.
So take us through the things that's propelled you first to choose this path. When did you come to that space that you made that decision that this is what I want to do for at least this time of my life?
Yeah, I was thinking about this for a long time. I think when I was 17, I felt something that told me like you have to, or that tell me like you have to go out, you have to travel. But I don't know, it was like first like my parents and people around me, they were like, first you have to finish school, first you have to do that, first you have to do that, you need a job. And I was like, yeah, maybe they're right, maybe I should wait. So I had this in my mind all the time, like doesn't matter what I was doing, like every job there was always like, you wish us to travel, don't forget that. There was like a voice in my head that always told me, that's your dream, you should do that. But I was like a bit fighting against it.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, the expectations of the people, friends and family were different. So I never did that. But it was after a time I was so unhappy with what I was doing. I had a job, I had a great job, but I was not happy. Like people looked at me and they say, wow, you have a good job, you have an apartment, you should be happy. And I was like, but I'm not happy.
That's not what your soul is
yearning
for.
Because my dream is to travel. And then I was like, okay, I don't care what the people are saying, I just do what I want. And that was, I think, like the life-changing point in my life where I was like, okay, I don't care what you're saying, even if you're not support me, I would still do that because it makes me happy. And when I was, so from 17 until 24, I think, almost 7 years. And when I was 24, I decided, okay, I quit my job, I quit my apartment, I sold everything I had. So I just have my backpack right now, I don't have anything else. And then I started traveling, it's like 2 years ago now. And I was never so happy before, never. I don't have much, like I just have my backpack and my clothes, but yeah, like I said, I was never happier before. It was definitely the right decision to do that.
I love the way you talked about happiness. And it reminds me of this quote that success does not bring you happiness. Happiness brings you success.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like when you do the things that you love, you become successful.
Yeah, that's so true. I think I even realized that during I was like traveling, because when I traveled, first I had a plan, like what I want to do, but after a while I realized I don't even need a plan. Things just come my way. I don't have to plan it, and everything was always a success, like you said. I was not planning it. And everything made me so happy. And back home, when I had my job, I was working hard, and nothing ever worked out. And I was like, how is this possible? And and now it's the different way. Like you said, everything comes my way. And even like meeting you here, having this podcast, I never ever thought about. Everyone asked me 2 years ago, do you think you will be on a podcast one day? I would be like, no. Never. And now I'm here. So everything works out so well.
Yeah. I totally concur to that. What was people's reaction when you packed your bag, told them you're selling off your stuff and leaving home? What were their reactions like?
Okay, so my friends were really happy for me because I was talking about this for such a long time. So I think they were like, oh, finally, she's going. And
they are tired of hearing you.
They were tired. But yeah, they were really happy for me, and they were supporting me. But my family, they were not really happy about it. Especially my mom. She was like, I should not go. Just take a longer vacation. Keep your job. Keep your apartment. You will be more safe like here than you going out, like traveling the world. And more family members were like, don't go, please don't go. And then they started texting me messages, and in these messages were like examples what could happen to me. Like I could get sick, I could have accidents. They really took their time to figure out things that could happen to me, and that shocked me. Like they really wanted me to, they wanted to scare me, that I will be afraid, and I said, okay, I will stay at home. So that's where I decided, okay, I have to cut the contact with that family members, because I don't need that bad influence in my life right now. Like making this decision is hard enough already. Selling everything, quit my job, say goodbye to my friends. It was also a hard time. So to really focus on my dream was hard. So I just cut off the contact to everyone that was against it. And that helped. It helped. I just had the people around me that supported me. And so the reaction was not only good, no. But I would say I was strong enough, and I just chose the right people around me and during that time.
Exactly. I think most time they're not like trying to scare you, they're trying to protect you.
True.
And what they're trying to do, they were doing it from their own place of fear.
Yeah, that's
so
true. They were
trying to sell all their fears to you.
Yes.
And it's normal. They say it's a survival instinct.
Yeah, that's true.
They are scared that, okay, all of this might happen to you. This is why they never allow themselves.
Yeah, but not only them, a lot of people. When I tell people about my story, for example, when I went back home to Germany last year, they were like, oh, I wish I could do that too. Or I wish I have done that also when I was younger. And I was asking myself like, but why not? Like, you could. Everyone can do it, but I think fear is something that holds so many people back to live their dream or to live what they really want. It doesn't have to be traveling. It can be like a job you always wanted to do, or just a hobby you always wanted to start with. But there are always fears like, maybe it's not working out, maybe this could happen. And I think fear holds so many people back from living what they truly want to do. So it also holds them back to be happy, right? Like we talked before.
Yes.
So it's like a circle.
So people who are staying in their comfort zone,
yes, it's the
which they
comfort
call
zone.
comfort zone, but in most cases, the comfort zone is not comfortable.
No,
because
it's not.
you just have fears of like moving from that space to the unknown.
Yeah.
And in the unknown is a lot of possibility, which you are not opening yourself to.
Yeah, and the unknown is good.
Yeah.
It's not that it will do something bad or hurt you. You just have to step out and then see what will happen.
Yeah.
And when you do that with a positive mindset, I think that's also really important. Good thing will happen, I'm very sure. So I think it helps to question, like, why do I have these fears? For me, I realized when I was waiting for such a long time to start my world trip, it was also fear. Of course, it was. So I had like excuses why I can't go this year. It was money, it was the job, but in the end it were excuses. So, but there was a point where I was so unhappy that I was like, no, no excuses anymore, I will go now. So, and this is the point where you have to listen to yourself and think about, are these excuses or are these like reasons? But most of the time are just excuses. You could always start.
There's this saying that I think, it's actually from the book, The 4 Agreements. And it's like, it goes like this. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you like you have abused yourself.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
from the book, The 4th Agreement, which you have also read.
Yes, it's an amazing book. I just recommend everyone to read it. And the funny story is, when I was in Hawaii, was it, I think 2 years ago, someone already recommended that book to me. They said, you should read that, it will change your life, like 2 years ago. But then I was reading another book. I was like, yeah, I will read it. And 2 years later, it came back to me through someone I met, I think in Bali. She was having, she had the book with her, and she was like, that book is so amazing, you should read it. And I was like, oh, true, I should really read it. It comes back to me all the time. I think now I should read it, and it's amazing. I love it. Everyone should read it.
No one has ever abused you like you have abused yourself. That's what Don Roy said.
Yeah.
What do you really think about this?
I think it's so true. It's hard to hear that. I think when you hear the sentence, you're like, wow. But when you think about that, it's so true. Because think about the way you talk about yourself sometimes, and how strict you are with yourself. The words you use to speak to yourself. I don't think that you would use these words to a friend. Never. Or even what you allow people, like how people treat you. I think it's so true, and we should think about that. Like, how do I speak to myself? Because I think that's also the book saying, because how you treat yourself it's also the way you allow other people to treat yourself. Like if you speak in a very bad way to yourself, for example, about your body, you don't like your body, and you're always like, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that. You also allow people to talk about your body like this, because they're like, oh, yeah, I think they're right. I was thinking like that too. So yeah, I think that sentence is something also everyone should think about. And
I feel we have this negative talk because of the things that we hear from our environment, the things that we allow to like just go on within our environment. This would take me back to what the Blac Moment slogan is. Learn, unlearn, relearn, evolve. And I feel when you talk about learn, it's learning those 4 agreements, because those 4 words, learn, unlearn, relearn, evolve, are actually 4 stages of consciousness. That's it's like 4 stages of conscious growth for me that everyone has to like pass through. For everyone that wants to get to that state of deep immersion, you have to go through these 4 stages. Learn, unlearn those beliefs, those hold agreements.
Yeah, beliefs that you have from your childhood, from your parents when you grew up, but are these really your beliefs? Is this what you're really thinking, what you really want in life? Because most of the times it's not.
Yes.
Because like I told you before, my parents wanted me to have a good job, a good apartment. That was the belief I was also growing up with. Like, I think almost everyone, you should study, have a job. But I realized this belief is not what makes me happy. So I questioned that belief. So yeah, it's so important to first figure out what are my beliefs and what are the beliefs I was growing up with. Also beliefs from I don't know, social media, from the community I was growing up with, from friends. We're influenced in so many ways, in so many ways. And I think especially today, sometimes it's really hard to listen what you really want. And like you said, most of the times it's also negative things you hear. And that's also something you should keep away from you.
And then the relearn. I believe the relearn for me is doing. When you learn, now you're aware of those things that you need, the new habits you need to learn, the new habits you need to develop. You are aware of that. And the awareness of that will take you to the next step, which is the unlearn, which is then recognizing the habits you need to break. Those negative habits you need to break.
Yeah, exactly.
So then the third aspect, which is relearn. And relearn is doing. Going forth and practicing them, because as you practice them, those old habits will still show up once in a while. And as they show up, you have to then find ways to start dealing with them and making sure you're getting them out of your way. And then you become better at it. And then you go to the next stage, which is evolve.
What I want to add to unlearn, that it's a process. Like, you have to be patient, because when you think about how long you're living with that belief already, maybe it's 20, 30, 40 years you're living with that belief, it takes time to unlearn it. And just because you're struggling sometimes, or that beliefs come up sometimes, don't give up. Like, don't give up. It's a process. It takes time, and don't be too strict with yourself. So just allow yourself to also, I don't know, fall back sometimes. But you will see a process. You will see it will get better and better. And with time, then this belief will be like unlearned. But it's a process.
And I think that is where the relearn then come in, because the relearn kind of puts you in a place of practice, of doing. Because you would always make mistakes, you would still fall back to those old habits. But relearning is learning and learning again and again, and just doing it and doing it. And the more you walk more into the positive aspect, the lesser the negative aspect become. And at a point you attain a state of mastery in the habit, then it becomes an embodiment of you. It's another stage of learning where they call it unconscious competence. So you are not doing it consciously, but you are doing it.
You're doing that.
You know, and it's like you're driving a car. When you first of all stepped into a car to drive, it wasn't that way.
Oh, true. You were thinking a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, now I know
But when you have reached the state of mastery, you have done it on and on and on again.
Then you don't even think about it.
You don't think about it any longer.
Yeah, and this is with the beliefs too. You don't even recognize that these are your beliefs. They're just inside of you. Yeah, true.
Yeah. And when you get to that space of mastery, then it takes you to the final space, which is evolve. And evolving in this sense means becoming grounded. Grounded that both the positive and the negative does not shake you any longer.
Okay.
It gets you to the place of like a state of abandon, the state where you look at the situations and you just know that these too shall pass. You look at what is happening around you and you are just in a meditative state.
Yeah, but I think this has also to do with trust, right? Like trust in life that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
That everything will happen happens for a reason, and yeah, that in the end you're going to be fine.
Yes.
I think trust is also a very important point.
Yeah. And trust in what?
Trust. I would say trust in life. Like, if I trust in life, I know things, for me, I would say happen for a reason. Even if I don't understand why it's happening now, I know there is a reason.
Yeah.
And maybe I will understand it in 2 or 3 months. Then it will make sense to me. Then I will look back and say, okay, I know why this happened. So I always trust the process.
Yes,
so
trust in the process.
Trust in the process.
I love that because I think it was Steve Jobs' speech. It was like, trust the process, that you would never be able to connect the dot looking forward.
Yes,
that's only be able to
I love
do
that.
It looking backward.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. In the end, you will understand.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now, but in the future you will. So just keep doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
And in the end, everything will
come together.
It will come together.
Like no matter the path at which you choose, you would miss another.
Yes.
So why don't you just, why don't you just choose your path and follow your heart and know it that you actually did something, you dare to do something that you love, something that you have always wanted to do. And I think most time we fear failure so much that we don't allow ourselves to shine.
True.
We don't allow ourselves to live.
Yeah.
And they say it that the only man that never failed is the one that never tried.
Never tried. That's so true.
And the man that never tried is the man that never lived.
Yeah, that's true. I think this is something I learned during traveling, like having trust in life. This is a very big lesson I learned. I can give you an example where I really was like, wow, you have to trust life.
Yeah.
I was in Canada and I was working in it was a dog pension, like people that went for holidays left their dogs there and we were taking care of them. And this space, it was not that nice. Like the owner was pretty mean to me, so I was not feeling good there. So I decided to tell him, hey, I don't want to stay here anymore. After 2 days, I told him I can't stay here anymore. And the plan was to stay there, I think, more than 4 weeks. And he got so angry. He said, you will leave right now. I don't want you here anymore. Pack all your things and go. And I was in Canada in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, okay. I was crying. I was like, I don't know what to do. But his neighbor, he drove me to a gas station. He dropped me there. And I was like, okay, now I'm at the gas station just with my backpack. I don't know where to go. I didn't have network. I was desperate. I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. Why do I travel? I hate that. But then I started talking to the people at the gas station, like, can you please take me to the next city? I just need to go there. I'm sure we'll find a hotel there and then I will make a plan. And I think after 30 minutes, a family came to me. They were in the car and they were like, hey, what happened to you? Should we take you with us? Like, we're going that direction. I was like, yeah, that would be great. And I started talking to them what happened to me, that I'm a traveler. And then they said, okay, if you want, you can stay with us just until you know what to do and you figured out everything. And this family was amazing. They took me to their place. I had my own room and everything. They said, like, feel at home. And they didn't even know me before. They just gave me a room. They gave me their home. And they took me to the to beautiful places in Canada. They showed me around. They cooked for me. Like, they said, feel at home. And this was the first time where I experienced that people give a lot, but they didn't expect anything back.
Wow.
Nothing. They just said, feel at home, you're welcome, and stay as long as you want. And I just met these people at the gas station.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful for this family.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they helped me in so many ways, and I could figure out another plan why I was there. But this is where I realized, okay, it's so good that I was exactly at this gas station at this point, because otherwise I would never met these amazing people.
But that is because you dared.
Yeah.
You dared to like speak up for yourself.
Yes.
You dared to like say, no, I'm not taking this.
Yeah.
And because of that, it opened the door.
Yeah.
And I feel, one, kudos to that family. I think the world needs to like hear more of like stories like this, because they are amazing people everywhere in the world doing great, magical, awesome things. And everything we hear every day is the negative news.
True, we just hear about something like that. I mean, these people are heroes.
Yes, I'm not kidding.
They are.
These are kind of the things that are supposed to like, make the news.
Yeah.
Like, we should have like things like this every day on the news. A dose of that, every day. But it's sad that we glorify the negative things.
Yeah,
everyone
that's
is like, so focused on that.
And everyone is just talking about the negative
yes,
things.
But we are not talking about our everyday heroes, those people that show us kindness like every single day. I think this is the main purpose for the Blac Moment. To just, and I really love that you shared that with us. I really love that you shared that with us. So, since you started this whole adventure of yours, in what ways do you think that this has given other people permission to let their light shine?
I think first for me, it's always very nice to hear from people when they say, oh, you're really inspiring, or I love what you're doing. Because for me, sometimes I don't even have that feeling that I'm doing that, because I'm just living my life, right? I'm living my dream. And it's so nice to hear that this is inspiring.
Yes.
I think I didn't start that to inspire people. I think it's just happening because I live my dream. And I think people see that. They realize that I love what I'm doing, that I'm happy, and like you said, I'm shining.
Yeah.
And that's why it always makes me really happy. And it's like a big compliment to hear that I'm inspiring people. And I think for people to even just see that it's possible and that it's not that difficult, maybe even if they start thinking about that, that would make me so happy.
Yes.
Even if they start thinking, okay, what do I really want? I want also to live my dream, but what is my dream?
Yes.
So even if I reach that point where people start thinking about that, I will be so happy.
Yes, and
because
I think you've gotten there. You're doing it. You're doing it. It's beautiful. Let's go back to like the fourth agreement. And pick up some things from there. The first agreement is actually, it has everything to do with words.
Yes,
like,
words are so important. Like, choose your words wisely, because words have a big impact on people. So maybe sometimes you just say something that comes to your mind and you don't even mean it in a bad way, but even, for example, I think they choose the example that you say to someone, oh, I don't like your voice when you're singing, or or maybe it can even be like, or like we had this example, you added weight, or something like that. Maybe for you it's just like, you're saying it's just like this. You're not really thinking about that, but that's the problem. Like, when you're not thinking about that, it can influence someone for a lifetime. So maybe that people was already very insecure with their body, and if you say something like that, maybe the people stop wearing specific clothes, or stop maybe to go outside, or so it can really have a bad influence on someone.
And I feel at the same time it is good that we have our own kind of positive talk. There's this Latin saying abracadabra, and I remember I found out that it means you create as you speak.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Our words have the power.
Yeah, they have a lot of power.
And in most cases, if you tell yourself that you are not enough, you start to carry yourself like you're not enough.
Yes.
If you tell yourself that you are not beautiful, you start to walk with your head down.
Yeah, true. You will show that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you change your negative talk into positivity, then you start to embody that.
Yeah, so true. It's not only like how you say to other people, also how you speak to yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's this way my mom always say this when she's not feeling fine.
Yeah.
Instead of her to say, "Oh, I'm sick," she tells you things like, "I'm strong. I'm very strong." And she takes it to that level.
Yeah.
She is a big fan of like positive talk.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because it's so much better if you say to yourself, "I'm strong," than "I'm sick," or I don't know, "I don't feel good," right?
Yes.
So it gives you something. I think it gives you more power, because like we said before, it has so much impact on you, the words you choose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the second agreement talks about you not taking things personally.
Yeah. I think this is something, when I read that, I was like, oh, I have to work on that. Because of course, when you're traveling, a lot of people tell you what they're thinking about you, even without asking.
Yeah.
And sometimes I took the things very personally, and I was thinking about it for days. But then I realized, like, in every country where I am, people have such a different opinion.
Yes.
And such a different point of view. So it doesn't make sense to take anything personally, because for me, it's just suffering.
Yes.
Think about this for days, or even make me feel bad about the words they said to me. Why? Like, this one person is saying that, but the other person has a completely different view.
Yes.
And so I think this is such a good agreement to say, don't think anything personally, because in the end, it's just a point of view from that one person.
Exactly.
Nothing more.
And in most cases, what people say to you has nothing to do with you. Yes, it has everything to do with them.
It's just it's their point of view. And sometimes they're just reflecting maybe their own issue, or their own their own thinking.
Yeah, their own fears.
Their own fears, yes. So,
and a lot of people has consumed so much negativity that all they are able to see is from that window of negativity.
Yeah.
And sometimes the reason why we take it personally is because we are affirming that too within ourselves. Yeah. There's some fears within ourselves. That's why we're triggered by what they say.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
So just imagine that I walk to you and be like, Jacky, your purple hair is disgusting. What would you think?
I mean, for now, because I already practiced a lot, like self-confidence and everything, so it would be like, that's okay.
Yeah, but the truth is, did you even think about what I just said? I said your purple hair.
Yeah.
Do you even have a purple hair?
Yeah, true. I don't even have purple hair.
So
it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
It's like because it doesn't make sense. That's.
Yeah. But for you, it could be purple, right? That's the thing. But that's the thing. Some people.
But then for you, it's like I'm not even wearing a purple vest.
Yeah,
You know, it's like I'm not wearing. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Probably he's
True.
colorblind or so.
Exactly. But if I would take this serious, maybe I would
Exactly.
change my hair color tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
And that is it. Like we taking things so personally
Yeah.
in most cases, just put us in unnecessary pain.
Yeah.
It is important that we are able to see situations and just know that not everything is about us actually.
And that's another thing.
Yes.
Like the world is like so big. It's not everything about us.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that also helps, like to not only to see that not everything is just about you.
Mm-hmm.
So people are not always against you,
Yeah.
or
All for you.
for you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it takes us to the third one,
Yeah.
which is assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it says, do not make assumptions.
Yeah. Oh, this will save you a lot of energy. So like, this happened to me recently. Like, I don't know what happened there. I think someone told me that a friend just told me something, that this and this happened, but I will tell you the rest on the phone later. This was terrible. I will tell you the rest later, until we had this call, I had so many stories in my head, like so many terrible stories what could have happened. And all of these assumptions I had were, of course, worst case. So, everything was terrible. I already had tears in my eyes, like, and it was just assumptions. And I was like, okay, I'm prepared for that call.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in the end, of course, it was something very simple, nothing bad. And I was like, oh, really? But this day, until I waited to this call, took me so much energy. I couldn't work. I couldn't really think straight. I couldn't do anything until I had this call, because I was busy making my own stories in my head.
Yes, yes.
So this is so true. So true.
Oh God, yeah. I think we put ourselves through so much pain.
So much unnecessary pain.
Yes, not living in the moment.
Yes.
Like we are always either living in the past or thinking too much about the future.
Yeah, to worry
like
about
what
the
if,
future.
what if,
Yes.
what if?
Yes.
Instead of like being in this moment and enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
And the only thing this does to us is steal our joy.
Yeah, and steal the present.
Yes.
Like, you don't even realize where you're
And in
now.
most cases, just create unnecessary drama.
Yes, I like that. It's unnecessary drama.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
and in some cases, somebody just coming to you and saying, you're stupid. And instead of you just assuming that he actually means that you're stupid and taking it for that, why don't you kind of like go forward and asking the question of, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Do you mean there's something I did that was stupid? Or stupid means something different
Yeah,
to you?
asking questions is so
Exactly.
important.
Because
so
this is
important.
it. I have a lot of kids from the US come down and they use crazy in different ways. Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, okay,
And down here, it's like,
being
you are
crazy.
insane.
Okay,
Like, you know,
okay.
and people get mad immediately, like, did she just call me crazy?
Yeah.
But that is not actually what she
What they
meant.
want,
You're just
yeah.
assuming that she meant that.
Yeah.
She was just trying to say, okay, probably that is kind of awesome. Probably that is,
Yeah, of course. It's like awesome.
you know,
Yeah,
different. Or, you
Yeah.
know, she didn't think that could be it. But not that you have lost your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
So
Yes.
sometimes assumption creates just too much drama. And I love that
yeah.
he was able to talk about it. And then to the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Always do your best.
Yes.
I take this personally, majorly because I feel it aligns with my essence.
Yeah.
You know, it aligns with my core value of putting myself to everything I do. Like the moment my name is tied to it, the moment I say yes, that I want to do this, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like putting me into it.
Yeah.
And it gives me this sense of confidence within me when I go about doing anything I do.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, the moment I say yes to it, I am doing it. That's what the black shirt does. So, what is this for you?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, for me, it's like I always do my best.
Yes.
Even if I know...
I can testify to that.
Even sometimes if I know, okay, this task, that's not really my thing, but I would just do my best. And in the end, I can say, hey, I did everything I can do. If you're not happy with that, that's okay for me.
Yes.
Because I did my best.
Yeah.
You know, it's also something like having peace with me. So if someone...
And just knowing that you're enough.
Yes, it's something like that. Knowing like I did my best, I can't do more. If you're not happy with that, then hey, we can talk about it. I can try it again if you want, but I did my best.
Yeah.
So I think it gives you, again, it stops you from having this unnecessary drama again.
Yes.
Like start having doubts, and I don't know. I think if you start everything you do with that mindset, you would not question yourself.
Yeah.
You'll be like, hey, that's completely okay with me. Even maybe if you don't get the job or anything, you say, hey, I did my best. Then it's just not meant to be. That's okay.
Yes.
So it gives you some peace.
It's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like
I
it's
didn't get
okay.
the job. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was able to win at this. It's okay.
Yeah.
Things didn't go well. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just having that it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I did my best. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, if you would meet the 10-year-old Jacky,
The 10-year-old. Oh, okay.
what would you say to her?
Okay, first, one big lesson or one thing I would say is like trust life. Like everything will come at the right moment.
Yes.
Just trust life. This is something I would say. Then follow what you want, not what other people expect from you. Like figure out what you want and then go for it. Like this is something I would tell her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Those are deep. Those are deep.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to pick those two up and tell them to my 10-year-old daughter. Like, yes, I am like putting those two sentences and like putting it on the front of her wardrobe so she sees it every single day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for
wisdom with
having
us.
me. It's always so much fun talking with you.
tell you.
I love it.
Yeah. My beautiful people, we've come to the end of this episode. Share with us your thoughts, ideas on what you would want us to talk about next time. But don't forget to subscribe to the Blac Moment. See you next time.